10 toes down on them highways every Saturday and Friday, yeah.
Right? I'm going to start off with these two precepts, and I'm going to answer your question. If you ask me what exactly what you're asking me is what I want to show you. I'm going to show you how you, being a so-called Native American, you get Israel. I'm the tribe of Gad. Right? Where is he at? Gad. Native American. The Indians that was here before Christopher Columbus came over here and destroyed our people. Before the Trail of Tears, right? Before they destroyed, take you off your land and put you in a reservation. Show you. Right, and I'm gonna let the Bible. Woman kind of.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
Who are Israelites?
Who are what?
Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenant.
The Israelites is given the adoption, the glory, and the covenant. Old covenant, the new covenant. Old testament, the new covenant. It's proof. Right, for us, by us. Right, read.
And the giving of the law.
And the what?
And the giving of the law.
Most High God chose the Israelites, He gave us a law. Read.
And the service of God.
And the what?
And the service of God.
Most High God, Him Himself. He created everybody, and He chose this group of people to serve Him. He said, hey, look, this is your job. This is why I created you to serve me. So to find out who those people are, you got to look at the things that the Lord has given them. Right? Both the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that's how you identify them. In the promise.
The book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 27.
Bring it up.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
In the world.
I am in the midst of Israel.
Everybody.
I am in the midst of Israel. And that I am the Lord your God, and none else.
The law says just this word. I am your God, and none else. I am in the midst of Israel. I'm about to show you how I know you are Israelite, bro. Right? And I'm just gonna let the scriptures do this, and I'm gonna ask you questions, okay? Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Before I continue, have you ever read the Bible before? Do you know who Moses is? Okay, cool. That's perfect. So we got a place. I don't have to start all over. I can start from right here. Read.
Come. But it shall come to pass.
Give me Deuteronomy 29 and verse 1. Come. I want to start there.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
With the children of Israel. So now we get in context. These are the words that Moses is speaking to the Israelites. He's about to tell them something very important. Let's find out what it is. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
Bring it up.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations,
What?
above all nations of the earth.
So the Lord's not about equality. He wants a nation to be above all nations. That's right. Now, how do they become above all nations? By hearkening unto the words of the Lord. By doing what He says, right? It's like a father, right? If you had a child and your child said, "Hey, can I go play outside when his room is dirty? The trash needs to be taken out. There's dishes in this thing," right? You're gonna tell him no, because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's not taking care of what he wants, what you want him to take care of. It's the same thing with the Most High God. So Moses said, "What if you listen to the Most High God? He's gonna put you above everybody." Let me ask you something. Right? As us, as a people, the Native Americans, start off with the Native Americans. Do they live above everybody? They live at the very bottom, right? What about us, so-called African Americans?
That's what I want to ask you too. You know, if we the chosen people, the most high people, why are we not in the most high place? You know what I'm saying?
Let's find out.
Brothers still down here finishing. We're not finishing college. We're not doing everything they're supposed to do. In the most high, why don't we represent? Why don't we represent the chosen people? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna show you what. Give me verse 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
If you don't listen, read.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these
What
curses,
is on us?
all these curses,
Why are we in this condition that we're in?
all these curses
Read.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Because we did not listen to the Most High God, we were cursed. Right? And we've been cursed in several different ways, so I'm just going to show you a few. Right? First, give me verse 46. I'm going to show you why I got to show you these curses to answer your first question. How do I know that we are Israel? Right? I'm going to tell you how.
Deuteronomy 28 and 46. And they
We're talking about the curse. And they, these curses,
shall be upon thee for a sign,
for a what?
for a sign.
For a sign. What does the sign do? Right? What does a sign do? Let people know something. Right? If I was to ask you, hey, which street is this? You'll look at the street sign that says we're French. Right? If I ask you what park is it, you'll look at the sign. Hey, we're in Discovery Green Park. Right? I know that you got Crocs on because what? They have the sign on it. Right? So signs because I identify, I indicate, let you know what something is. Right? The Lord said these curses are going to be an identifier. This is how you find out who the Israelites are today. Because believe it or not, there's no ending of the people. The people who are in the Bible are actually here on this earth today.
That's right.
Right? They just got their names changed. They've been called bywords. Let's get that in verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
You know what?
And
a byword.
A byword. Bywords are anything besides your God-given nationality. So, for example, they call my people niggas. They call us spits. They call us monkeys, boys, Negroes, African American. I can't be from two places at once. Black. That's a color. Right? My backpack, your backpack, and my. We don't come from the same place. There's no land called black. You ask a so-called Chinese man where he's from, he's gonna say he's from China. The African man, oh, he's from Zimbabwe. Right? Even the so-called white man, you ask him where he's from, he tells you what? I'm European, or I'm Irish, right? Or I'm from the Caucasus Mountains.
No land, we don't have no culture.
Exactly. So think about this. If you don't know who you are, you don't know where you come from, that means I can tell you anything you will believe. That's why we call each other black, right? But what? We're God's chosen people, and we have curses on us. Let me show you. Give me verse 6.
verse 16. Curse shall not be in the city.
What do you say?
Curse shall not be in the city.
You look in the city, who lives in the slums and the ghettos and the hoods? Who's the ones under the highway getting strung out on drugs? Who's the one that's getting chased down by the cops and put to death? But hold up. God's not talking to black people. He's talking to Israelites. Read.
Curse shall not be in the city, and curse shall not be in the field.
Look at this. Us being cursed in the field, bro. This is us being cursed in the field. Right? Our babies being gator raped. Right? Look at that. Our babies being gator raped. Right? They got what? All these unjust killings. Right? Our children hit the nigger bait. And they're throwing baseballs at our children, man. That's being cursed in the fields, man. But let's look at it even today. Who's the first one fired but the last one hired? Who got to go to college just so they can make a good paying job? But even so, they won't make a lot of money because they're always in debt. We're cursed. Right? Give me 48. I'm going to show you how cursed we are. Because it's not, these curses are here forever. Until we repent and come back to the Most High God, these curses go to, you're under a curse. That's right. And I'm going to show you that. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shall thy serve thy enemies.
God said you have enemies. Even though you might want to love everybody, he says you have enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
What's the last thing you ate today, brother? Lunch. Right? Do your people sell that brand of lunch? You got it from Walmart? Do you own Walmart? Do your people own Walmart? What about Target? No? What about Aldi? We don't own these things, right? So we're going to...
They got an African American president. Aldi got an African American president.
They had an African American president? Okay, let me ask you something. They don't own it though, so he's just a fake. So what I'm hearing is, hey, they got him cool. They got him somebody who looks the part but can't really do nothing.
That's right.
Right. They got him a pretender. A figurehead. Perfect. They got him a figurehead. But the Lord said, curse shall you be in hunger. Let matter what you do, you're gonna have to go to somebody else. Right? We don't even have no forums no more. We don't.
Con. And in thirst and in nakedness.
And in thirst. We don't own those Zarka, Fiji. We don't own these things. Smart water. We can't even get our own water. We try to collect rainwater. What they do, they charge you too. It says and in nakedness. Right? I don't own Crocs, Louis Vuitton, right? Gucci. We don't own these things. But what? So-called black people, Hispanic people, and Native Americans, we buy it up. How is that? We was the one working on those cotton fields. We should be the ones who make that money. We did the work. We put the work in. But we don't get nothing because we're cursed. We don't.
Con. And in nakedness.
Uh-huh.
And in want of all things.
You want a job, you gotta go to your enemy. You want a car, you gotta go to the bank. It's owned by your enemy.
Sorry.
Right? No matter you want
Tell the guy go get their stuff
death
ahead of time.
certificate, you gotta go to your enemy. A birth certificate. No matter what you do. Read.
Con. And in want of all things.
Uh-huh.
And he shall put a yoke of
You
iron.
shall do what?
He shall put a yoke of iron.
He shall put a yoke of iron. If you go on Google right now and type in yoke of iron, you'll see people, our people, with chains around their necks. This is commonly known, right? We're the ones that had yoke of iron around our necks, man. Who's getting beat? They beat our own language out of us, our culture, our love for one another. Now we hate one another, right? Let me ask you a question. You grow up with your father in your home? That's a blessing, right? But not everybody deal with that, right? If I was to look around and take a poll, hey, how many brothers, raise your hand please if you had your father in your house. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 out of 11. That's a statistic. So 4 out of 11 Israelites had their father.
2 of them are brothers.
2 of them are brothers.
So that's one household.
count.
It really don't count.
One don't count.
So it's 3 out of every 11 brothers, man. Matter of fact, that brother in there, I didn't even count him in the car. I didn't count him in the car. So that's what, 3 out of every 12. So that's what? That's 1 out of every 4 people have their fathers in their house, man.
That's right.
But let's see if that's a coincidence. Give me verse.
Verse
3, bro.
54. So that the man that is tender among you
Uh-huh.
and very delicate.
Tender and delicate. We used to love one another. I used to be able to walk up to you and give you a hug. Right? I used to be able to shake your hand and show you love.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you need something? Hey, bro, here's some money, bro. Hey, bro, I see you got something on your face. Hey, wipe it off. Hey, brother, hey, look. You know what I'm saying? How your family doing? How your mom doing? I just seen your mom around the corner at the gas station. She spoke to me. You feel me? We don't have that no more. So that eye that was tender and very delicate, very loving. Read.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Now you can't even stand your brother. Now you're gonna have black on black violence. With blood versus Crip, right? Light skins versus dark skins. Light skins versus dark skins. Right? So
we're not a
what does that mean? We have an evil eye towards our people now. Read.
Con.
You can explain.
And very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother
Uh-huh.
and toward the wife of his bosom.
Now you're gonna hate your own woman. Pour her out. Beat her down. Right? You ever seen a so-called white pimp? Chinese pimp? I'm pretty sure you've seen a black one. So-called African American pimp. That's a curse becoming true, man. Right? We wear wife beaters. Why do we call them that? Because everybody who won beat their wives. All of these things are named after things that we do, man. Right? We're God's people, so everything we do, the nations follow. That's a blessing and both a curse. God.
So like, catch her up on what you're doing.
So what we're doing right now, we're teaching so-called, may I ask you your race, please?
I'm black, white, Mexican, Turkish.
Say it again?
Black, white, Mexican, Turkish.
Okay, what is your father?
Black and white.
Black and white, right? What is his father?
Black and white is
Black and white? Okay, so what we're doing is we're teaching so-called black, Hispanic, Native Americans, their heritage, their nationality according to the Bible. Because if I was to say, you're black, what land you come from, you wouldn't be able to tell because there's no land called black. So we got to find out what God calls everybody and everything, right? Because God, he's going to give judgments according to what he likens things to, not to what he likes.
What are you guys' religions?
We're not religious. We teach the Bible. So religion...
I'm Mormon, that's what I'm
Okay, I got you. So usually some religion, they come with doctrine, right? This is not a doctrine. We read the Bible as it is, right? Wherever the Bible says, that's what we do, right? For example, right? Revelation 22 and 14. This is for you, so this is still teaching moment, right? Revelation 22 and 14.
That's the book of Revelation.
Let me ask you, how do you get the kingdom of heaven?
you know, not by posting like, oh, I believe in God, or telling people you believe in God, but like, okay, let them know you're taking him in by your mind, your soul. Yeah.
That's perfect. You said a lot of things, and it touched up a lot on the scripture. But I'm gonna sum it down, right? Usually it's perfect, right? But everything you said, everything y'all said, y'all right. Let's make it. Let's put it in the Let's make layman's terms.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
That do his
Now
commandments.
hold up. That do the commandments. A lot of people. How many commandments are there? There's 12. How many?
There's 12 in ours, yeah.
Huh?
12 in ours.
Okay. The Bible, there's over 613.
That's right.
We only teach 10 commandments. The 10 commandments.
They don't even do that.
Right? And a lot of people don't even do that. So these actions that you said, that heart, you got followed after Christ, it comes with what? Doing the commandments. Let's see what happens to those that do the commandments.
Because blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life,
To the tree of life, right? Read.
and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Into the city. That's what we're talking about, the city of heaven. Right? The kingdom. Right? Where we belong. Right? So to get the kingdom of heaven, you gotta have the faith of Christ, right? Right? And you also have to be keeping the commandments, right? Right? Now I showed him that do you believe, right, that you're an Israelite? After some of the curses I showed you. Yeah? I'm gonna show you one more curse just for her sake as well. Okay? Deuteronomy 28 verse 68, Exodus 20 and 2. And so everybody's on the same thing. Now, look at the sign. Does this happen to everybody on earth? Who does this happen? African Americans, right?
We wasn't just the first slave, people that just said, yeah, white slaves.
So yeah, you're right. You're right. I got you. So hold on. So you're right? Everybody has been in some form of slavery. But let's see the form of slavery that the Most High God is going to come. Right? Because you know what I'm saying? When the Romans, they conquered a lot of lands. They conquered a lot of people. And people was brought into slavery. Same thing with the Persians, right? The people of this world. But let's see what type of slavery that God said he's going to send his people into. Get that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Lord says he's going to bring you into Egypt. You know a little bit about the Bible, right? When Moses took the people out of Egypt, what were they called at that moment of time? Do y'all know?
No.
Let's figure it out. Get that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the what?
Out of the house of bondage.
If you're in bondage, that means what? You're in captivity. Right. There were slaves in Egypt. Let's find out. Let's get another precept. Read that.
This is the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 11. Therefore, the king of Egypt,
The what?
the king of Egypt
Read.
rose up against them and dealt subtly with them
Was sneaky with them. Read.
and brought them low with laboring and brick and made them slaves.
Made them what?
And made them slaves.
So when you think about, when we were thinking about slavery, when the Lord said, I'm going to send you to Egypt again, we was thinking about slavery, right? Captivity. But let's see how the Most High God brought his people into captivity. Right? Read.
And the Lord, Salakia, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did we get here?
With ships.
That's how we got here. These slave ships. Being packed in hand and foot, man. Having other people's feet in your face.
Feces.
People pulling on you. Peeing on top of you.
all got here, though. Some people was
I got you, brother. I got you. You're right. You was already here. But I can show you how you got here over the Bible. Do you want to find that out? Give me the book of 2 Ezra 13 and 40. I'm going to show you how your people, the Native Americans, got here. Because believe it or not, I got you. The Native Americans, what language do they speak? They spoke Hebrew. They spoke Hebrew, brother. Right? There's actually some Native American tribes who actually walked around with the commandments on their neck. Right? If you notice, if you look at how they call the Native Americans, a lot of their languages had no E's, no I's, no U's, no O's either. It's because what? They were speaking Hebrew. Right? The Apache tribe.
So when you reading the Bible, is this the altar, the King, y'all read the King James version, or y'all the Old Testament?
This is King James. This you go to
So
church.
you don't believe that this Bible was altered, was altered in any way?
I'm gonna show you even better love.
They say, you know what they say, King James, he was the one who commissioned the Bible to be written, you know, basically put it into terms where we can understand it. But they tell us that a lot of scriptures were left out. You know what I'm saying? They say that the Prophet Muhammad, they talk about the Prophet Muhammad in the Bible. You see, if they would have left the Prophet Muhammad in that Bible, there would be no Islam religion.
Let me say something real quick. Right, Muhammad. What does the word Quran mean? It means to recite. Right. Muhammad, he learned from us. That's why he takes our tradition and he makes it himself. Like us, as we're supposed to pray according to the Bible, it tells you to face the east. That's why they do it. Right. They copy us. Right. Right. Now, just because you said a lot of things, and I'm gonna touch up on that. Right. Firstly, do you believe the Most High God is the all-powerful God? So that means that you must believe that He can preserve His word no matter what. Right. Get that for me. Right. Go to King James. Right. Because we're gonna get some information as well as to King James, what he truly did. Because a lot of people think that King James is a so-called white man. That's what they teach you, right? But they call the Renaissance period the what? The Dark Ages. Why is that? Because mostly dark people ruled during that time, right? Most of the kings in that land, they were dark-skinned people. That's why it's called the Dark Ages. And when you search up the word Renaissance, it means what? Rebirth. They took the images. This is it right here. They took the images of the so-called dark-skinned people and they made them into white images, right? That picture of Christ that says Caesar Borgia, in the Bible, Christ does not look like that. It tells you that he's a man that has dark skin and woolly hair. And he was so dark, it looked like he was burned in a furnace. That's right. So he'd be something similar to this brother color or to this brother color. But that's not what he looks like. So there's a lot of things that we've been taught, but since we don't do our own research, our own mind has deceived us. Get that real quick. Who got that? I got it. Great, get that.
This is the Compact Bible Dictionary, right? And it reads, when Elizabeth...
What are you reading?
King James Version.
Right, this is the dictionary, and we're looking at the word King James Version. Read.
When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James the First, who had been king of Scotland for 37 years as James...
Salakia. James the Fourth.
James the Sixth. James the Sixth. Several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation.
A new what?
A new translation.
A new translation. Because the original scriptures was written in Hebrew, right? But he's the king of Scotland. A lot of people didn't speak Hebrew. They spoke Greek. They spoke Latin. So he had to translate it. If I was to say, Call Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right, what did I mean? What did I say? Do you know? Can you translate it? So the Bible, which was written in Hebrew, had to be translated from the Hebrew to a language that they understood.
Do you believe that it was translated word for word?
Let's find out. Read that.
Khan. Several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the bishop's Bible. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars.
We got 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars, and did what?
Of the day were divided into 6 groups. Therefore, Salakia, 3 for the Old Testament, 2 for the New Testament, and 1 for the Apocrypha.
So he took all these men, put them in 6 groups, and separated them out so they can all handle a part of the Bible. Right? It's kind of hard for me to say I manipulated the scriptures. If I got 40, it's going to be exactly because they're learned. So you can't say that, right? That's what they tell us because they don't want you to know the truth. Back in slavery, they will kill you if you had a Bible in your hand. Right? Because what? This lets you know who you truly are and how much power you truly have. Who they are. Who they are. Who's your God, right? If you pay attention to the slave songs, a lot of their songs have something to do with the Bible. Right? Down by the river Jordan, where John baptized 3. That's in the movie, that's in that Nat Turner movie. They're singing about the Bible because what? We were those people. We was at the river Jordan. Right? The land is named after us. Right? So there's things that are hidden that not too many people know. Swing low, sweet chariot. That's talking about
Let's
let's not get too deep.
Yeah, come.
Right? So, I'm going to ask you, before we go anywhere, right, going back to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, Exodus 20 and 2. Salakia, I want to finish this point. 28, 68.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now, you said that some of us already over here. Right? We're going to get that, but let's finish the scripture real quick.
Come. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
You have never seen your homeland again. Right? We're from the land of Jerusalem, Israel. That's our land. They took us from there and then they gave that land to somebody else. Right? Read.
And there ye shall be sold.
You shall be loved.
You shall be sold.
You shall be praised.
You shall be sold.
To be sold. A cargo of 94 Negroes. That's us. The Hispanic people, they went into slavery as well. By the conquistadors. They had to prove somebody was over here. Your people went into slavery. They had to prove somebody was over here. Christopher Columbus, he came over here. It tells you in his journal that he didn't put his sword down for an hour. He was killing your people. And then he put them in slavery and brought them back to Europe to prove that there was people here, man. Read on.
Come. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen,
Slave man,
and bondwomen,
slave woman.
and no man shall buy you.
No man shall buy, because it's a custom for us. If you was to say, hey, look, because like I said, we was tender and loving towards another. If you was to say, hey, brother, look, I'm down on my luck. Can you please give me a job? I can actually hire you, right? And I have you serve me for a few years. But this brother right here, let's say he was your actual brother. He could say, hey, look, I don't want him to serve you. Here's his money. Hey, I'm going to pay off his debt, and then you'll be able to go free. So it was a custom for us to protect one another. But the Lord said, what? Now you can't protect your brother. This slavery is going to be a tough slavery. You're going to have to go through it. And the only person who can save you out of it is me. Right. That's why we're still found in America. I got you. That's why we're still found in America, KKK. You know, you want to know why we're still here. Exodus 30 and 1. Let's find out why we're still here. Right? Also give me that second Exodus 13 and 40. I want you to read that. Read that.
The book of 2nd Esdras.
I'm going to show you how your people got here. Read that.
13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes.
The 10 tribes. Right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, that's the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom is where your people resided at. Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, and Naphtali. Right? These 10 tribes, Ephraim on down. Let's see what happened. Read.
Which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osea the king.
So y'all was taken prisoner and y'all was brought to Assyria. Read.
Who Salmanasar, the king of Assyria,
like I said,
led away captive.
Right.
And he carried them over the water. And so came they into another land.
So after y'all came to the other land, y'all in the land of the Assyrians. Right. Read.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves.
But y'all was like, you know what? Hey, forget that. I'm tired of being a slave. Right? If you think about it, all these tribes, they're killers, man. They're warriors. Hey, man, I'm tired of being in slavery, man. I can't do it. I don't want to be here no more. So let's see. They talked once to another. Read.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
They wanted to leave the heathen. At this moment in time, everybody's on the eastern side of the hemisphere. Nobody's on the western side. But they knew it was there because what? Our people, we actually visited that spot. Read.
And go forth into further country.
Into a what?
Into a further country.
Wait, all right, read.
Where never mankind dwelt.
That's what Christopher Columbus said when he found America. Never mankind dwelt. A new land. They called this place the New World. Right? Because they didn't know about it yet, but we did. We're God's people. We know everything the Most High wanted us to know. Read.
That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
That's why y'all left. Y'all wanted to keep the statutes and the commandments of the Most High God. Right? But read.
And they entered into Euphrates.
Right? Y'all went throughout the Euphrates River. Right? Y'all went from the Euphrates River, y'all went down and around Africa, and y'all came to South America. Right? And once y'all entered to South America, then y'all started and y'all branched up. And that's how y'all got from South America to North America.
Are you saying everything was connected?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
How would they have came from under Africa?
I got you. So let's figure out. Read. They had boats. I got you. That's how we got here. You feel me?
Verse 43.
Hold on.
I'm talking about way BC before Christ.
No. Okay, so I got you right here. Right? Moses said that we're going to go to slavery on what? How did he know what a ship was if it wasn't there?
4,000 years ago.
4,000 years ago. Because he knew what it was. There was shits back then, but you can't depend too much on what they teach you in school. We can't depend too much on what they teach you in school because they taught you that you were slaves. They didn't teach you that you was God's people.
Noah built a whole ark.
But we're teaching. Noah built a whole ark. So how do you not know what a ship is? You feel me? So everything that they taught you is a lie. Our job is to show you the truth, right? So keep asking questions. We need that. That's how we can tear down those things that they lied to you about. Read.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
So y'all entered into the Euphrates River. Read.
For the Most High then showed signs for them.
They showed signs for them, right? If you pay attention to the Native Americans, they was real keen on the environment. They used to name each other a bear, right? Wolf, a yellow jacket, right? Red River. Why is that? Because the Most High used that to show them signs, right? And they named themselves after things they wanted the spirit of, right? They usually call warriors bears,
Like Brother Bear.
like brother bears, right? They call some men eagles, eagle warriors. That was a whole army group in Issachar. Right, so y'all named yourselves after the nature because the Most High was using nature, using the stars, right, to show y'all how to navigate. Right, read on.
And held still the flood.
All right.
Till they were passed over.
And the Most High allowed y'all to go through there. But read. Watch this.
But through that country,
there
was a great way to go.
All right.
Namely, of a year and a half.
Of a what?
Of a year and a half.
If you Google it right now, how long does it take you to go around the earth? It'll tell you 3 years. 3 days. Read that. I'm sorry, 3 years. Huh? Perfect. Read that. Well, hold on. You got a point.
Oh yeah, I wanted to make a point. How he was mentioning how they was calling them like wolves and bears on a different level. America, they named their groups after the natives. You got the Tomahawks. You got the Apaches. Like they helicopters and stuff is named after the natives.
And I'm gonna just add one thing. Right, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from New Orleans, but we have a place called Baton Rouge. Right, that means red stick. So they was naming the things after the Native Americans, right? And those names stuck on, right? But let's continue reading right here. Read.
And the same region is called Assyria.
A what?
Assyria.
It's called Azareth. So this land that they went to is called Azareth. Let's get the definition for the word Azareth. Give me a second. Let them slow down or whatever the hell they're going to do. I want you to hear this. Go ahead, read it, King.
Azareth, the encyclopedia, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses.
We read this. Read.
Until the time of the restoration. According to Esdras, Columbus identified America.
Columbus did what?
Columbus identified America with this land.
With this what?
With this land.
land.
Columbus knew that there was land over here because what? The Bible. Our book. Right? So, hey, this book is your history, King. This is where you're from. You're not a Native American. Right? That's what they call you when they got here. Before they got here, you was an Israelite. From the tribe of Gad. You was a Gadite. So it's time for you, right, to come back to the Most High God.
That's right.
That's why you're out here right now. That's why I'm out here right now.
Right.
To let you know, hey, Most High God loves you. The Most High God, He wants you to serve Him.
That's right.
And He needs you to do it today. Because soon the world is going to end.
That's right.
But with that, right, I'm gonna I got 5 more minutes. All right, all praises, man. We're gonna keep it going. Right? I'm gonna show you how to serve God. And I'm going to show you how to pray to the Most High God. Because He is your God. He is your power. That's right. Right. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. You also give me Leviticus 11 and 7. I'm going to show you some commandments, brother.
It's the book of Deuteronomy.
1 John 5 and
10
3, actually.
and verse 12. And now Israel.
That's you, brother. Do you think, before we continue, do you now see yourself as an Israelite? All praise to the Most High God. That's a blessing. Not everybody can do that. It's because you're called by the Most High God. Christ said what? My sheep know my voice.
Right.
Right, read.
And now Israel.
That's you, brother.
What does the Lord thy God require of thee?
He requires something. You have to do this. Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God. To walk in all His ways. And to love Him. And to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
That's the spirit. That's exactly what that sister said. To serve God, to walk in the ways of Jesus with all your heart and your soul. That's exactly what she said. It's in the scriptures. Right? This is meant for you. Read.
To keep the commandments.
To do what?
To keep the commandments of the Lord and His statutes.
Right, read on.
Which I command thee this day for thy good.
For thy what?
For thy good.
So this is given to you for your good. This is how you get the kingdom of heaven. How you get salvation. How you get immortality. Right? They don't want you to know that. They want you to be a nigger. They want you to be a Native American, because once you're that, you make yourself weaker for them.
Native savage.
Native American means native savage. They're calling you a savage. But it's time for you to be a king, because you are a king.
That's right.
Let's show you how you do. Let's show you how to carry yourself like a king. Let's first show you what the King of Kings wants you to do. Get that.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is love. So like, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
Now, do you love God? That scripture says, if you love God, you will keep his commandments. Read.
And his commandments are not grievous.
They're not hard to do. Let's give you a commandment, right?
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine.
Do you know what swine is? Pork. Let's see what God's going to say about it. Like I said, everybody else, they copy us. So you might have some knowledge of it, right? But let's see what the Most High God, your power, actually says. Read.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed,
Yeah.
yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to
Read.
you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
What God said?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Read on.
And their carcass shall ye not touch.
The Lord said you can't even touch the dead body of it. So a pig, no more eating it. If somebody give you a pepperoni pizza, you can't peel the pepperoni off. There's no more touching or eating pig. Can you do that for the Most High God? All praise. Some things that have it is what? Sausages. Some sausages, they actually take the pig intestines, the lining of it.
So why does it say not? Why does it say not to eat pork?
Let's find out why. Read that again.
Right. Verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch.
Salakia, read up first.
Verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed,
Yeah.
yet he cheweth not the cud.
He doesn't chew cud. He doesn't properly digest his food.
That's right.
Back in the ancient days, right, they didn't have no trash cans. They didn't have waste management. So how did they clean up the earth? They used pigs. They would throw their trash, their dirty diapers, dead bodies, all of that. Throw it out in the street, pig come and eat it, chew it up. You ain't got to worry about nothing. The Most High made this earth to take care of itself. Right? If you have a pig pen, you have to put the bars out of iron. Because if you make anything else, the pigs want to eat it. You could, yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. How do you regulate your body temperature? How do you stay cool? You know how your body naturally keeps its temperature? Sweat.
Perfect.
Do you know that a pig does not have pores to sweat? So how they cool themselves off is how they waddle in the mud, and then they go to trees like that and they scratch themselves to get the mud off and to get fleas off their body. Also, at their ham hock, at their ankles, there's a spot where all of the pus oozes out. And that's how they regulate their pH. Also, it does not matter what you do to their carcass. When you eat it, there's a worm that's in the meat. Right. And that's going to eat every single thing that you put in your body.
Even if you cook it, that's why they got tapeworms.
See, they have to get it with radiation.
That's where you get tapeworms from eating pork. If you was to take a piece of steak, or pork chop, take a piece of pork chop, right? You can have it raw. You pour Coke on top of it, you'll see worms pop out. If you cook it, pour Coke on top of it, you'll see worms pop out. It's not for us to eat. It's one of the dirtiest animals. We have this saying amongst our people: you are what you eat. Yep. And if that thing eats everything that's dead, you eating that animal, you're soon going to be what? Dead. High blood pressure, diabetes, gout. All of this gout. All of this stuff comes from eating pork. Yep. That's why the doctor, they tell you as soon as you get that stuff, hey, you gotta stop eating the pork. You gotta stop eating seafood. They tell you this. It's because what? That's what's killing you. Right? So that's why the Most High God don't want you to eat pork. All right, I'm gonna show you something else. But first, before we go on, do you understand that? Let's get the next thing. Give me verse 9.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the water.
Right.
Whatsoever has fins and scales in the water, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Them what?
Them shall ye eat.
Most High God said it has fins and scales. You can eat it. So what are some things that we can eat that's in the waters? That's it. That's simple. So shrimp, crab, lobster, they don't have fins or scales. They have an exoskeleton. Same thing as roaches. Same thing as spiders, right? So You can't eat no more shrimp, crab, or crawfish. Can you do that for the Most High God? All praises. All praises. Right? Don't go anywhere. I'm going to let another brother come up here and give you commandments, okay?